Just as I mentioned this morning, Ezekiel and his call from not so much the chapter that was read to us, but really that's possibly the only straightforward part of the story in his call. And I don't really want to delve into the detail of all the different things that are written there. But it's just some points that I just want to bring out. Because we all have plans, we all have dreams. And what happens when those plans and dreams and hopes are absolutely shattered? And you need to mention that she was looking for someone to help. And it's a horrible thing when you look around and you don't feel that anyone can help. It's a horrible thing to be in such a position. And it could have so easily developed for Ezekiel to be in this type of situation. We told us, we looked at it last week with Jeremiah, that at the most he was in his teens when God spoke to him. And so we looked last week as a youngster that you can know the will of God in your life. It may be when you were a youngster that you knew the will of God in your life, but that seems a long, long way away now. But there's always a way back with the Lord. There's always a way back. And whilst there might seem times when everything seems impossible, we can find a God that really cares and understands. With Ezekiel, there is no doubt about what age he was. Verse 1 tells us that he was 30 years of age. And 30 years of age for him was an important year for him. I don't know if you have important years. I can remember my 30th birthday was probably the worst birthday I ever had. I've never been someone who's affected by the day. If it's this time last year, this is what happened, and I've never been one like that. But on my 30th, I just didn't want to be 30. I was in my 20s, and I didn't want to be 30. To me, 30 seemed old. It probably stemmed from the fact that when we were in our teens, very early teens, around about 13, there were 4 of us that sat on a gate down by Martin's farm. The Hawker family used to live at the end bungalow. And behind there was a field where Sunningdale is now, that estate there. There was a field there. My mate used to keep his horse in there, Prince. Black pony with the white diamond there. And I can remember sat on that gate, and we'd just seen Easy Rider. It was Peter Fonda's, Henry Fonda's son. And it's a story of 2 young Americans that were going across to a Mardi Gras. And it's a sad story. It's a story of rebellion, a story of what we've heard what Anita has said. How there was a wish in their hearts. But I can remember at that time Queen Street had become a one-way street. And we vowed on that day that we would ride by our Harley Davidsons and ride down Queen Street the wrong way. I remember vowing that. But we made all these different vows. I never learned to ride a motorbike. And we said we'd never get involved with girls. But we did. We would never do this, we would never do that. And we came to this grand conclusion, by the time we were 30, we thought we would all die. Now maybe because of that, in the back of my mind, that I thought 30 was an old age. But for Ezekiel, it was a very special year for him. 5 years earlier, at 25 years of age, which again would have been a very important year for him, we read in verse 2 that he, with the high-ranking families that were in Jerusalem, were taken captive. Not only he and high-ranking families, but the king himself, Jehoiakim, was captured and became an exile in the land of Babylon. For us, 25 and 30, it would seem, well, they're just ages that we come to. For Jesus, 12 years of age was an important time. It was a time when he would no longer be, as it says, you must be about my Father's business. And historically, that would have meant that he would have become part of Joseph's business. He would have been trained then as a carpenter. But of course, he was speaking of his heavenly Father. I must be about his business. And so he brought himself into that type of relationship. For him, 30 years of age was an important time. It was a time when, as Luke says, being about 30 years of age, we're told that the Holy Spirit came upon him, and the voice of God spoke to him, and delighted in how pleased he was with his behavior down through the years, and that he was to be someone specially reckoned in the accounts of God. For Ezekiel at 25, it was an important time. He had been nurtured for that age. He was about to open and step into a brand new world for him. It was something that his father would have been involved in. His father would have told him of such a special, special day. He would have told him of a day that 5 years later, that it would be even more special to him. And so we told of Ezekiel, the son of Busai, the priest. 25 years of age. What is so special about that? Well, the book of Numbers in the law tells us this, that from the age of 25, in Numbers chapter 8, the priests would be allowed to serve. Those of the priestly families would be allowed to serve within the tabernacle or in the temple. The strange thing is that in Numbers chapter 4, we are told that it's at the age of 30 that they become priests. So at the age of 25, as this new world is to open, as he's about to learn to become a priest and serve a 5-year apprenticeship in effect, to serve as a priest in the tabernacle or temple of God it would have been for him, that is the same year that he was taken captive and taken into this far-off land and became an exile. We dream, we plan, we hope. But for him, it was a shattered dream. All the plans that his dad had made for him, the heritage that would have been his for hundreds of years, that his bloodline would be a bloodline that would serve the Lord, first learning the trade, first learning what it means to be a priest, and then from 30 years onwards, they would be a qualified priest, as it were. And there they would have 20 years to serve the Lord. They would finish at 50, just 20 years. We make our plans, you know. We make our plans as if we're going to live forever. But 20 years goes like that. This coming August, Roger would have retired 9 years. This coming August. Just like that. It's gone. This time next year, should God tarry, it will be my 10th anniversary of standing here behind the pulpit. And so time just goes so quickly. And at 25, when this world is about to open, his hopes, his dreams are taken away from him. And whilst the temple is still standing, it's not destroyed. That's to happen a number of years later. 5 years earlier, when he's just 25 years of age, he's taken captive because he's of those influential families that can affect people. And so the Babylonians took this decision. Take those that can influence people. Notice some of the people that they went to pick up when they went to take captive many peoples. One of them was this, the doorkeepers. The doorkeepers could make decisions as to whether or not you were fit to come and serve the Lord. The doorkeeper could turn you away. Now our emphasis today is to welcome everyone in. But the doorkeeper had a very responsible job. And so we have a put down on it. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than dwell in the tents of wickedness. But the doorkeeper was such an influential position. So we find with this brother that at 25 he's taken captive. 5 years passes. 5 years goes just like that, isn't it? 5 years. It's amazing how time goes. And 30 years of age, the year that he was to be a qualified priest has come and gone. Because we're told it's in this 30th year, on the 5th day of the 4th month. And he's 30 years of age, and his plans have gone awry. Do you have plans? Have you had plans? Hopes? Dreams? that by the time I get to such and such, I will hope that I will have accomplished this. But you know, when we start looking into the future and planning for the future, it rarely remains simple. It starts getting complicated as we take on different things. And we find with Ezekiel, he's 30 years of age. He's been 5 years as an exile now. No longer able to do. There is no offering that he can offer there in the land of Babylon. There's no synagogue there. That hadn't even been thought of yet, the synagogue. And so we find that here is a man that has nothing to do. Here is a man whose dreams have been shattered, and he sat amongst a group of people by the river, and he sat there, and he sat with a group of people called exiles. He has no one to identify with. He sits where they sit, even after the experience of God calling him, and he sits with them, and sits there for 7 days, absolutely astonished, taken aback at what he sees. This is, I don't know what you're like, but I can remember times in my Christian life when I've been on holiday and it's rained, when we've been down in West Wales. And I thought in my heart, how frustrated I was with God. That it could be sunny in Manorbier and yet cloudy and rain in Freshwater East. You could see Manorbier across the other side of the beach. And I could get so easily frustrated. Imagine what it's like when we're not talking of a week's holiday, but of a person's life. The potential that they had, the hopes and dreams, the plans, all the different things that go together there, they've all gone up in smoke. What do you do? Is there anybody that can help? There's no one there who can help. Is there anybody there that can get me around this situation? There's no one there. And in the midst of that moment, or that time, we read these words. That Ezekiel was sat by the river among the exiles. And he says this, and behold, the heavens opened, and I saw visions of God. These are the thoughts that Jeremiah had, speaking to a people that were already pondering in their hearts that God meant evil for them. And this is what Jeremiah said. I know the thoughts that I have towards you. They are thoughts of peace, not of evil. To give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and go and pray to me, and I will listen to you. And you shall find me when you shall seek me with all your heart. We find here with this brother, 30 years of age, with no one there to help, with all hopes dashed. And we find in the midst of it all, the heavens open, and he sees visions of God. What a wonderful God we have. What a wonderful God we have. You see, very often we look for the perfect circumstance that makes us right to meet with him. Do you know what he's looking for? You. He never looks for the perfect circumstance. He looks for you, and he meets you where he finds you. I love this story. It's a little bit simplistic, because we see when he says that he saw visions of God. He says there in verse 3, and the hand of the Lord was there upon me. I think it's verse 24. It said, or chapter 3, verse 24. It says something like this, and the hand of the Lord was upon me mightily. You see, he was with the captives, with the exiles. But he could say this in a far-off land. And touched me. He touched me. And
the wonderful way that God does it. When John has a similar vision in the book of Revelation, when John sees the despair and the disarray of the 7 churches in Asia, he's requested to come up into heaven that God might show him things which would happen from there on. And John, as he rises into the heavens, he sees there a throne set, and one sat on the throne. And he goes on to describe the one that sat on the throne and the whole situation there in heaven. But here with Ezekiel, notice what God does. He doesn't ask Ezekiel to come up. He goes down to Ezekiel. John saw a throne that was set. Ezekiel saw a throne that had wheels on it. He came so close. You see, this is the grace of God here. I know we can look into all the different meanings of what these eyes and what these wheels and what these eyes in the wheels mean, but really this is what it is. He got on a throne that could move towards Ezekiel. That's simply what he's saying. You can't come to me where you are. You can't offer me anything, but listen now, I'm going to come to you, right where you are. This is the type of God we've got. He got so close to him that he said, you know what? He touched me. He put his hand upon me. I know we could turn around and say, well, he's got the biggest hands in the world. He's probably got the longest arm in the world in that respect. But he came on a throne that could draw near. It's the grace of God that does that, see. It's the grace of God that can take your dreams, that can take your plans, and not take you out of this world to let you escape from them. No, where those dreams and plans have been shattered, he comes on his throne and speaks to you there. He touched me, got so near to me, he came and touched me. That's what it says about Abraham. Wonderful story. It says concerning Abraham in the book of Joshua that he was an idolater. He was an Assyrian. And we're told concerning him that he was in Mesopotamia. But Stephen, when preaching to the Jews that were there in Jerusalem, trying to explain how big God is. You see, they could only see God in Jerusalem. They couldn't see him outside of the boundaries of the land. Couldn't see him at all. But Stephen said, listen now, from the very beginning, the God of glory appeared unto our father, Abraham, when he was yet in Mesopotamia. God met him there. It says concerning Joseph, as he goes on to preach of Joseph, Joseph went down into Egypt, and the Lord was with him. See? And so wherever you go, God can be with you. He can be with you on the highest mountain or in the deepest of valleys. And so Ezekiel finds God coming close to him on a throne that has wheels on it. He said, what do you want? He said, I see this throne. And on the throne, above the throne, upon the throne, stood a man. Stood a man. I know the emphasis of chapter 1 for the first 20 verses or so is about these seraphim or these cherubim that are flying back and forth in the presence of God. You see, they're right around the throne. They're the guardians of the throne. That's their job, to be around the throne as guardians. Why would God need guarding? Just loves to employ people. Loves to give them things to do. He doesn't need guarding, but there they are. We came to the Garden of Eden. We find a cherubim there with a flaming sword as the guards or a guardian towards or for the Garden of Eden behind him. But God on his throne. But he loves to employ people. See? Loves to employ them. Loves to employ the seraphim and cherubim with their posh descriptions and highfalutin names. But he loves to employ people and bring them near to the throne. Now that throne comes down by the river Sheba in a place called Tel Aviv. And there, on a throne with wheels on, he draws near. And as Ezekiel looks, he said, not only did he touch me, but I saw him. And as I looked, when he looks first of all at this throne, he says there was a glory upon it, and there was light irradiating out of it. That's what it says in the first few verses of chapter 1. Light irradiating out, and then he gets a little bit closer, and he sees in the midst of the throne a man. It's a bit like Nebuchadnezzar in the fire. As he said, I thought we threw 3 men in, but I see a 4th man in there. And he's like one of the sons of the gods. As he drew closer to the flame, he could see one standing in there that seemed to be immune to flame. And as he was near, so the flames could not touch the 3 friends that were there. We find with this brother that he sees a throne. He feels the hand of God upon his life. Can we just stop here? Have you felt the hand of God in your life? Ezra puts it like this: the good hand of the Lord was upon us. Nehemiah steals this phrase as well. It must have been the in thing at that time to say. I remember we were in Woodcroft, and I talked to different groups of people, and I think Roger was fretting. I said to Roger, don't fret, Roger, don't fret. And that became the phrase for the whole of Woodcroft. Everybody was saying, don't fret, don't fret. Here in Ezekiel's time, the hand of the Lord was upon me. And now he saw it. As he fixed his eyes upon him, we hear this: I heard him speaking to me. I heard him speaking to me. Have you felt the touch of God upon your life? Has your heart been open to see and put your trust in him? Have you heard the voice of God challenging you, convicting you, uplifting you, stirring your heart for better things, giving hopes that where once they were just shattered dreams, now giving hopes and purpose and direction in a life? Have you heard that? Have you heard the voice of God speaking to you? Ezekiel had 30 years of age. Do you know it's never too late? Abraham was 75 when he heard it first time round and saw him first time round. Moses was 40, but he ran away from it, didn't he? And he was 80 when the next time he heard that sweet, sweet voice calling to him. 80 years of age. It's never too late. Never too late. We always think that we're done and dusted. Andrew's just gone through a little important year for him. It's his 65th year. An important year for him. I was thinking of different ones. For me, the 11 plus. I remember when I was 11, passing the 11 plus. No, I didn't. My teacher, Yanni Price, said to me, he said, when we did a test after the exam, I can't believe he did that, even to this day. He tested us again after the exams. He called me up, Martin Lewis, to give me my mark. Not for the 11 plus, I passed. Here's another one that got through by the skin of his teeth. I said, oh, 11 years of age. 65 years of age. It's never too early. It's never too late. This God that we've got here, he can put his hand upon you. He can make himself known to you. He can draw near to you. Imagine that. A throne with wheels. He makes himself mobile. Do you know, it gives the impression that God bends with the wind. Because everybody would have been saying, how can we meet with God? Listen to them. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, we wept when we remembered Zion. And our enemies said to us, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget you, O Jerusalem. And it goes on. And so, it's amongst the people that are absolutely broken, but hope comes in. We spoke of that in one of the choruses this morning, wasn't it? You broke my chains. And here was a brother who was in exile, who was a captive, and yet he was free. He touched me, I've seen him, I've heard him, and then it says in chapter 2, I've received him. When he saw him, he heard his voice speaking to him. And then he goes on to say that I fell on my face. If you notice the number of times God's people, when he meets with them, they fall on their face. Moses made haste and fell on his face. We find with different ones that they fall before the Lord. Daniel fell before him. It says of Daniel, he fainted. It says of John, he fell as a dead man before him when he saw him. But then he heard that sweet, sweet voice as his hand came down upon John's shoulder. John, stand up. Don't fear, John. Don't fear. I'm the first and the last. I've now ascended. I've risen into the heavens. And John was able to rise up. Ezekiel, he hears him. He sees him. And as he faints before him or bows before him in worship, it says, and the Spirit spoke to me, and I received him. He entered into me. He is no longer a captive. Yes, he's still in, the situation hasn't changed. The situation hasn't changed at all. But he's free inside. And that's the important factor. He's free inside. The number of times we look for freedom from the situation. The situation sometimes has to stay with us. But he still sets us free inside. As I mentioned the other day, as we come to a close, there's other things that we could say, but just leave it at that. Concerning Jeremiah in prison, and it says, and the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah whilst he was in prison. And we go on to read then a second time. He's still in prison. The situation hasn't changed. But it says this, and the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah a second time. You see, he was free. Ezekiel was free. And he was to be a man that was to have the task, the ministry. He was looking at the most for 20 years ministry. God gave him 30 at least. If you read through it, it's plain to see. He had at least 30 years that he was able to serve God. Time goes fast, friends. It goes very, very fast. And you think that you've got tomorrow and it's gone. What about meeting with the Savior tonight? Meeting with him. Let him speak to your heart. Let him make himself known to you. Let him touch your life. Let him be received within your heart to set you free. It can happen now. Will you do that? Will you come to Christ and enjoy the fellowship and service that belongs there? Well, time has gone.